Buenos días, este es el noticiero de MinerAndina, su informativo semanal minero por streaming, con las noticias más relevantes de la semana que pasó y una conversación con Alex Christopher, presidente de la Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada, el evento minero más grande del mundo, cuya próxima edición será en marzo de 2023 en Toronto. Tendencia en PDAC 2023. Minerales críticos. Inversión minera creció 3.8% entre enero y octubre 2022. DLP Resources intersecta 214 metros a 0.43% de cobre equivalente en Aurora. Nubian recompra las regalías en el proyecto de plata Esquilache. Silver Mountain informa resultados de muestreo de canal en reliquias. American Lithium busca escisión de sus activos de uranio al público independiente.
Ok, buenos días amigos, estamos en una nueva versión del noticiero de MinerAndina. Y en esta oportunidad, ya en diciembre de 2022, vamos a conversar con Alex Christopher. Él es presidente de la Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada, el PDAC, por todos conocidos, y nos va a hacer comentarios. Vamos a conversar sobre este próximo evento reconocido como uno de los más grandes del mundo, donde Perú es país auspiciador. Participamos hace muchos años, una delegación muy importante, y bueno, los peruanos somos, creo, muy bien esperados y recibidos ahí en Toronto para el PDAC. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing? How are you going in Canada?
Good morning, and thanks for reaching out for a quick chat here to talk about PDAC that's coming up here in March 2023. It's going to be our 91st convention, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in person there. I think it's been a really interesting year in the mining sector as we've come through COVID for the most part, and people are looking forward.
Yes, looking forward. That is the path. Well, Christopher, Alex, sorry, tell us. We are now in post-pandemic world, no, a really post-pandemic world, and what do you see, first of all, the trends of the industry, no? The exploration sector, I'm not sure it was not so much affected, no? But what changed for you? What has changed, or what are new trends?
Okay, well, I think in general, I mean, there are some big global trends that are really impacting the industry as a whole, right? And then there are specific trends that are quite relevant to the industry. So when I think about critical minerals and mineral exploration and mining's role here in the low carbon future and the global push towards reducing our carbon footprint, I think that's a real key trend that we'll see here and that will drive the industry for quite some time as we start to electrify and move away from carbon intensive industries. So this is one of the bigger trends that really pushes out there. I think there's some headwinds out there probably that impact us a little bit with respect to on larger global trends. So when we start thinking about, I'm going to call it de-globalization and groups driving towards more trade blocks that really affect some of the policies and some of the supply-demand balances. That said, though, I think we're in a good position as an industry here. Quite a few metals are at historic lows in terms of inventories. Pricing has been quite good, and there's a broad appetite here coming out of COVID for folks to get out there and be successful on the ground. A lot of work around the globe with respect to engagement with indigenous groups, reconciliation through a variety of approaches. The whole equity, diversity, and inclusion, which is a really big topic over the last several years, and the PDAC is really pushing hard to ensure that our members, are making sure that they're as up to speed and as progressive in this area as possible. So I think those are some of the key trends and some of the main topics. we think
That's
about
very
critical.
interesting. And only a quick question regarding what did you say? This change to looking for new sources, no, of minerals to the sustainability, no, and carbon, low carbon, is easy to the exploration industry to do, to change, to adapt?
Yeah, I think two things. There are some new minerals, and then there are increased demand for critical minerals like copper and nickel and other minerals that are already being explored for. So for the most part, I think the industry is well suited to do that and to change direction in some areas, if you want to say. It is a very nimble and flexible industry, and I think that overall we have the depth in terms of both technical understanding, geopolitical understanding, and basically the business approach to do this.
Also, and financing for that is also the same. It's not a big deal. It's also as it was in the past.
Yeah, I think that when I start thinking about that access to financing, certainly governments providing incentives to pursue critical minerals or strategic minerals in many ways. That should attract investment. And when we start thinking about investors and them choosing what to invest in, I mean, when they're choosing to invest in minerals and things that are going to help transition us to a lower carbon future, I think that bodes well for the flow of capital into the exploration industry.
Good. Yeah. Well, so we are pretty sure that PDAC will catch these old trends, and maybe you can how would be the conference organized to include all these new issues, no, in the next event in March?
Yeah. So I think in general, I mean, we continue as we think about our key portions of the conference. We tend to take those market programs and ensure that we've expanded them to include, whether it's capital markets, whether it's our indigenous program, whether it's our sustainability program. So we work hard to make sure that those programs actually fit the times and that we continue to be progressive in those areas.
Okay. In this main sustainability areas, indigenous program, maybe do you have also a mining in woman program in general? Can you share us or tell some featured speakers?
Yeah, certainly can. And I think the one thing I also want to point out is obviously as we've moved through the pandemic and obviously a virtual convention and then a June convention, one of the programs I think is really important here going forward is the return really of a strong student and early career program, which is a really important thing for the future. We'll continue to update our website with respect to the speakers, but we have announced a few keynote speakers. And when we start thinking about both the critical minerals and technology, we have Ken Hoffman from McKinsey, who will be talking around basically battery metals and climate technology. So I think that's a key one. We have Sinead Kaufman, who's the chief executive for minerals at Rio Tinto Exploration, who will bring perspective from a big company to the table. And then we have Alex Dorsch and Kevin Frost from Chalice Mining, who are the winner of the PDAC 2023 Taylor Lindsay Award for their nickel discovery in Australia. So there's some examples of some of the speakers. So of quite a variety from small company discovery to large company to technology and innovation.
Great. So your expectation of visitors and delegates, I guess you increased as last year, no? I think with a crowd of people expecting to go to assist to PDAC. Have you an estimate?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm hoping that we'll get back to our pre-pandemic levels. As you know, last year we had about 17,500. Generally pre-pandemic we were sitting in the mid-20s. I think that it's great. We'll be back here in person. We're going back to our traditional March date, which will I think attract the students and the field-based folks here in Canada in particular. I think that there's a big appetite here for in-person interaction after such a long period of folks doing things remotely or by video. So I'm looking forward to this. We've expanded back to the North building. Last year we had contracted only to the South building. We've got several new series and some change in formats, and we're back to our live in-person networking events like the gala and that sort of thing that allow people to socialize. Whereas last year we had kept those quite small because of COVID.
Okay, so to fix some ideas, so next PDAC, the focus is as the trend of the industry says, is that these critical minerals, but so PDAC will add critical minerals or more spaces for this kind of issues. Also in the networking place, maybe you are going to have new spaces for the crowd of people is going to come. These are the two different or new issues from PDAC, or do you have some else new?
Well, I think in general, I mean, there are the three things we really focus on in general is access to land, and that brings in lots of different pieces, including our sustainability piece. Really, that's that social license to access land, access to capital, and capital markets, and obviously, how we attract investment into whether it's critical minerals or other commodities. And then access to people, right? And this is about our student program, our Indigenous program, women's programs, things that make the industry more attractive. And really, the whole push on diversity, basically, and inclusion is one of the key themes there.
Okay, so if when PDAC, next PDAC is over, what do you think you will be satisfied about?
Well, I think first, I think after 2 years being substantially disrupted by COVID, I think everybody be really happy that we get the convention runoff that's more of our normal, that attracts a substantial amount of international attention, and that really looks instead of looking at COVID and how we're managing it, looks forward to what's happening in the future, really, which is moving to a more low carbon society, looking at those critical metals, looking at technology innovation, looking at Indigenous engagement and reconciliation.
Great. And can you invite Peruvian industry? We also go PDAC every year since many years ago, but it will be very happy to invite the Peruvian mining industry to assist to next PDAC.
No, and obviously PDAC and Peru have a great history. I think over time, Peru is one of our country sponsors, which is really great to see. And we generally get quite a good turnout from the Peru exploration and mining industry, and certainly looking forward to seeing more people there in 2023 as travel restrictions have lifted and people have a much better ability to travel.
Okay, thank you, Alex. We are with great big expectation to assist to this PDAC to see these key new trends in the exploration industry, and I'm sure the mining exploration, women in exploration, in mining, and diversity, that is also in Peru very important issues. So thank you very much, Alex, for your time, and we also join you to invite the Peruvian industry to assist as more than every year to this PDAC. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in person in March.
Of course. I was in June. I was in every year. So we hope to see you there, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
See you in March.